We're going to go from standard form now to a power of 10. And if you didn't watch the other video, watch the other one first where I take power of 10 and change it to standard form, okay? So in this one, we're going from standard to power of 10. And just to refresh your memory, standard form can be either a whole number or a decimal. A whole number, for example, like 1,000, or a decimal like 1,000ths, 10, hundreds, thousandths, right? So 0.001. It could be either one of these types of numbers. Power of 10, if you remember, had the base of 10 with an exponent. Together they were power. And the power of 10 could be either 10 to the fourth power or 10 to the negative fourth power. So you might see a power of 10 with a positive exponent or a negative one. Okay, so now let's take standard form, which are these examples when it's a whole number, and let's make it into a power of 10. Well, that should be easy enough. Okay, so what we do here is we start at the right of the number when it's a whole number like this, and all we're doing is basically counting over to the right side of the 1. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 places to the right side of the 1. The power of 10 means the base is 10, and since we counted 6 bases to that 1, we're just going to make it 10 to the 6th power, and that's it. So let's do another one. We know we're going to count to the right side of the 1. We're going to start from here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the power of 10, write the 10 first, and we went 9 spaces, so it's 10 to the 9th power. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to start from the right, 1, 2, and it becomes 10 to the 2nd power. And so that makes sense because if you took 10 squared, it would be 10 times 10, right? And 10 times 10 equals 100. The same with 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 10 to the 6th power, you would get 1,000,000, and so on. So it does make sense if you think about counting versus just doing the repeated multiplication. They both work. This is just a shortcut way of doing it. So let's do another example, or a few more examples. This time we're doing from standard form to a power of 10, and we've got decimals. Remember we said standard form can be either a decimal or a whole number. Well, the idea is pretty much the same, except we're starting from the decimal here, and we're still going to the right of the 1. In our last example, we went to the right of the 1. In this one, we're going to do the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So the power of 10, you know, starts with the 10 as the base. And because we have a decimal, now this becomes -4. So the power of 10 is 10 to the -4th power. Because as you remember earlier, if you had a decimal, you ended up getting a negative exponent and vice versa. So let's do one more time. 1, 2, 3. So then we move 3 spaces. Your base of 10, it becomes -3. 1, 2. We move 2 spaces. We write our 10. It becomes 10 to the -2. To the right of the 1 is only 1 space. We still write our 10, and then it becomes 10 to the -1. And that's really it. You just have to remember, like the last video said, whenever you have a decimal, you have a negative exponent. And we saw when we had standard form as a whole number, our exponent was positive. So that's really it. It just takes some practice.